It's an interesting time when any and everything we're looking for can be found on the internet. This problem is created. Oftentimes, we're looking for all the wrong things. Um, and then, when we're looking for the wrong things, we're going to likewise find the wrong things, right? Acquiring all kinds of information. But it's just that, right? It's just information. 2 Timothy 3:7 says, always learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Right? That verse saying a lot, right? Because we look around and it's the information age, right? And we're able to go and look and find all types of things, right? But there's an old saying that says, all money ain't good money. I think that's from Spades or something. There's another saying, all that glitters is not gold. Just because we're becoming aware of this precious thing doesn't necessarily mean we're actually using this thing, accepting this thing, realizing, manifesting, experiencing this thing properly. And this is not always the fault of the individual necessarily. Some of the blame should also be directed at some of these teachers and elders and leaders that never really dealt with the fundamental, foundational issues. So I wanted to put together this little series to deal with something. A very important question, an age-old question, in fact, that speaks to something that we absolutely cannot live without. That question being, got milk? Teachers out here, and you look and you see, the main emphasis that you see these people, the main wavelength that you see these people on is based in carnality and soulish pursuits. Many people are saying that they are followers of Messiah, but their foundation is in identity, carnality, the flesh. Many people are saying that they are followers of Messiah, but their foundation is based on things that do not resemble Messiah. They do not resemble his characteristics. And many people are being tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine because they lack the proper foundation. Luke 6:46-49 says, but why do you call me master, master, and do not do what I say? Everyone who is coming to me and hearing my words and is doing them, I shall show you whom he is like. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid a foundation on the rock. And when a flood came, the stream burst against the house, but was unable to shake it, for it was founded on the rock. But the one hearing and not doing is like a man who built a house on the earth without a foundation, against which the stream burst and immediately it fell. And the ruin of that house was great. The question here is, what is your foundation? Did you progress from milk to meat? Did you ever really even deal with the milk? Or did you skip a step? We look in the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, starting with verse 11, concerning whom you have much to say and hard to explain, since you have become dull of hearing. For indeed, although by this time you ought to be teachers. Think about the idea of becoming dull of hearing. You've become dull of hearing, right? Your hearing has deteriorated. Instead of progressing, you're regressing. You're going backwards, right? You have become dull of hearing. For indeed, although by this time you ought to be teachers, you should be at the place where you are teaching others, right? But you're still in a place where you need to be taught, right? Why? Because you've never had that transformative experience that comes with milk. Continuing on in Hebrews chapter 5, you need someone to teach you again the first elements of the words of Elohim, and you have become such as need milk and not solid food. For everyone partaking of milk is inexperienced in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But solid food is for the mature, whose senses have been trained by practice to discern both good and evil. As we continue on in Hebrews here, where it says, therefore, having left the word of the beginning of Messiah, let us go on to perfection, not laying again the foundation, concentrating here on the foundation, the milk that you should have received so that you don't choke on the meat, the milk, the foundation of repentance from dead works, the belief toward Elohim, teaching of immersions, and of laying on of hands, and of resurrection of the dead, and of everlasting judgment. I want to look at each one of these things here that's listed, kind of in a concise, to the point kind of way, and deal with this idea of knowing what milk is, understanding where our foundation should be, right? And you know, perhaps these things have never been explained. Perhaps none of these things, you've never dealt with any of these things. We're going to look at these things, we're going to break these things down, and we're going to get into bring things back to the basics, right? So that we're able to move on to perfection, as it says there. So share this video, share the channel, click the notification button, keep an eye out for part 1 to drop. It's going to be coming real soon, and we're going to deal with this idea of elementary principles. We're going to deal with this question. That's so important.